All right, perfect. So make sure you have your names on your videos for me. We are going to be recording this session just so everybody knows, okay? All right. So today we're going to go over multi-term and multi-digit addition and subtraction. So raise your hand if anybody has done any addition and subtraction with this many multiple variables or with this many numbers. Okay, so everybody should be kind of familiar with this, right? Do you guys remember, do you guys and girls remember the main rules when we're adding and subtracting these numbers?
You have to like put it like so it's like at the right place. Like
perfect. So when we're doing this, when we're adding, say, 7,771 with 10,000, we want to make sure that we line up our numbers correctly so that our ones are aligned, our tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and so on and so forth. And then when we do this, actually, we can, let's see. Oh, is it going to do that again? Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay. So when we're doing this, plus 10,000, what do we get for this first answer? 7,771 plus 10,479. Does anybody know? Here, we can do this. We'll add 0, add our 1, 5, add our 1, 2, add our 1, 8, 18. And then when we subtract, we have to make sure again that all of our numbers line up correctly here. So we have our ones lining up, our tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. And can anybody tell me the answer here? Go ahead, Yisong.
9,819.
9,819. Is that what everybody else got?
Yes.
Perfect. Great job. Awesome. Okay, so now our next number is going to be even larger. So we have 1,289,000. Oops, 9,999 plus, what do we got? 6,897,987 plus 90,000. 54, 054, 850. Okay, and does anybody have the answer for this one? Alina?
I don't know really how to say the number.
Okay, do you have the 9 here? So we should have like 98 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then can I just say the numbers out?
Of course, go ahead.
9,824,2,836.
Okay, so we have 98,242,000. And then what were your last 3 digits?
836.
836. Just like that? Is that what everybody else got? Perfect. So how we say this one, this is our million spot. So we'd have 98,242,836. Does that make sense, Alina? Okay, and does that make sense for everybody else? When we're adding and subtracting our large numbers, we have to make sure our tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, even our 10 millions, we have to make sure all of our numbers line up or we'll get the wrong answer, right? So say if I had we'll just say some random number like 123. And I said plus 20, like that. What's wrong with how I wrote it? Can anybody tell me? Go ahead, Bonnie.
It's not lined up properly.
It's not lined up. So this, when I'm looking at it, I would write 323. But 123 plus 20 isn't 323, right? So we would want to make sure that 123 plus 20 is lined up correctly to get 143. Does that make sense for everybody? And does anybody have any questions on this? Okay, perfect. Oops, our 3 stayed. All right, so now we'll go on, and we're going to go over the distributive property. Can you guys raise your hand if you've seen the distributive property before? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so a few people. Awesome. So how the distributive property works is right here. So we'll look at this part first. So when we have A times B plus C, we can write it out to A times B plus A times C, right? So in our first example here, we would have 31 times 10 plus 2. And so we can write this out as 31 times 10 right here, and then plus 31 times 2 right here. And that makes it a little bit easier in some cases when we're multiplying and adding. Does that make sense for everybody? So what would we get here? We would get 310 plus 62, correct? 372 for the first one. Is that what everybody else got?
Yeah.
Perfect. Does anybody want to do the second one? Brian, why don't you do the second one? It looks like your thumbs up.
So 18 times 22 equals 18 times 20 plus 18 times 2. So
Perfect.
18 times 20 equals 360 plus 18 times 2, which is a 36, which equals to 396.
And is that what everybody else got? Perfect. And does everybody see where we got the 20 and 2 from? And so instead of doing 18 times 22, we took 18 and then did times 20 plus 2. Because this is power of 10, correct? And this is a single digit, so it makes it a little bit easier to multiply 18 by a power of 10 and 18 by a single digit versus 18 times 22. Since we don't have calculators on us, this makes it a lot easier, right? Does anybody have any questions on that one? Okay, so what if I had this one here? What if I said, what is, we'll go 12 times 15. What would we do for this one? Who wants to give this one a try? Go ahead, Melinda.
So you could do 12 times 10 plus 12 times 5.
Perfect. So we can break our 15 apart into 10 plus 5. Right? And that makes it a little bit easier because 12 times 10 is 120 and 12 times 5 is 60. And that will give us 180. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. What if I gave you this one? Let's try a little bit harder. What if I have 5 times, we'll say 107. Who wants to try this one? Go ahead, Alina.
We could do 5 times 100.
Okay. And then
And
plus.
then 5 plus 5 times 0.
Okay, so we wouldn't need 0 because 5 times 0 would just be 0.
Yeah, so we could just do the last digit, which is 5 times 7.
Perfect. 5 times 7. I like what you did with the 0. In this case, we wouldn't need to use that 0 because 100's right here and then 107. Since we don't have this middle digit, we don't have to worry about breaking that apart. So we'd have 5 times 100, 500,
500
plus 5 times 7.
35.
Perfect. Equals 535. Does that make sense for everybody? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. What if, we'll do one more here. What if I had, we will say, let's see, 10, now what's 10's a little too easy. 11 times, let's see, 94. Who wants to try this one? All right, Kevin, you're up.
So, we could write 11 times 94. We could write it as 11 times 90 plus 4. And then, using...
So not, 90 plus 4, like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, using the distributive property, we can rewrite it as 11 times 90 plus 11 times 4.
Perfect.
So, 11 times 90 equals 990. Is it? Yeah, plus 44.
Great job.
And then that would be 1,000. Yeah, 1,030.
1,030?
Yeah, 34. 34.
1,000, and 34. The video got in the way here. Okay, 1,034. All right, does that make sense for everybody? Perfect. Does anybody have any questions about the distributive property? All right. Can you raise your hand if you feel like you got this down? Thumbs up for having it down. And can you do this if you think you're good at it but don't quite know? All right, I see a lot of thumbs up. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me, okay? All right, here we go. Now we're gonna work on some multi-digit multiplication and division with remainders. So, let's see. Cole, would you mind doing this first one for us right here?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. So, am I allowed to just do it the normal way, like put them on top of each other and multiply?
So why don't you try to break this one down? Can you do the distributive property for us on this one?
I don't know for this one.
Okay, here, I'll help you out. So when we were doing the distributive property earlier, we took this first number, right, and we usually left it the same. So what if we took 83 and then times it by, and can you think of two numbers that add up to 51 that will make it easy to multiply by?
25 and 26.
So 25 and 26 aren't bad, but what if we did a little bit easier? Say, what if we did 50
Oh, and 1, yeah.
and 1, right? Because 1 is going to be one of the easiest numbers we multiply by, right? So then we can write this out as 83 times 50 and then plus 83 times 1, right? Because we know this is just 83. And what's 83 times 50, Cole?
Let me see here. Let me look over all this.
No worries. You can go ahead. Take your time.
Oh, 83 times 50. Oh, I thought you meant, never mind. I thought you meant 83 times 50. 83 times 50 would be 830, or would it?
So not 830 would be times 10. Here, so
Oh.
now we can do it. Let's see, 83 times 50, right? We can say, we know 0 times anything is 0. So we'll just drop our 1 0, 5, add our 1, and 41, correct? And so our final answer should be something like 44,233.
Yeah.
Is that what everybody else got for the first one? So in this case, Cole could have had a little bit easier time just stacking them and doing our regular multiplication. But I wanted him to do the distributive property just so he sees what we were doing up top and to try to continue doing it, right? Because sometimes this will make it really easy because 83 times 1 is a super easy one. But sometimes we get caught up because 83 times 50 is still a little tough. Good job though, Cole. Thank you. Let's see. Melissa, do you want to do this second one for us?
Yeah, sure. So 95 times 42, right? That
Yep,
one.
95 times 42 here. This one right here. I think you're muted again. You might have to unmute yourself if you can. Let's see. All right, you should be able to, all right, try to unmute yourself there, Melissa.
Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
Glitches.
No worries.
95 times 42 equals 3,990.
3,990. Okay. So when we're doing the distributive property, how would you do this one? So if we had 95 times 42, what would this be for the distributive property? How would you do this one? What do you think? What would you want to change 42?
42, I would change that to 6 times 7.
So not times, it'll have to be plus.
Yeah, sorry. 40 plus 2.
40 plus 2. Perfect. And so that makes it a little bit nicer looking than 95 times 42. So we'd have 95 times 40 plus 95 times 2. And this should give us the same answer, correct? And so 95 times 2 is 190. 95 times 40, what would we have here? Let's see, times 4, we do 0, 0, 2. 9 times 4 is 32. Perfect. So we'd have, let's see, oops, 30, 32, 36, 37. Right? 38, because we had 2. There we go, 38. So we get 39.90. Great job. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Get rid of this so we have some more room here. All right. Let's see. Brian, do you want to do the next one for us? It's 69 times 13.
Okay, so 69 times 13. So 9. So 69 times 13, we have to first do the 9 times 3, which is 27. So just write the 7. The 2 is going to be.
So you want to stack them on top of each other like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if we did the distributive property again for this one?
So it's 69 times 10
Okay, 69 times 10 plus,
plus 69 times 3.
there you go. All right. And so this might make it a little bit easier, right? Because we know 69 times 10, we would just add a 0.
690. And then adding 207. 690 plus 207
Okay. And what do we get for a final answer?
equals 897.
Perfect. 897. Is that what everybody else got? Great. Great job, Brian. Thank you. Okay.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I just came back from soccer practice.
Okay.
Been here for the past 20 minutes.
Okay. So,
I don't know what we're doing.
all right. No problem, Anthony. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to go back up here. So we are going over the distributive property. Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all we're doing is we're taking numbers like that. So if we had A times B plus C, we can change this to A times B plus A times C. And so we have a couple different things here, right? So if we had 31 times 12, we could break the 12 apart and do 31 times 10 plus 31 times 2.
Okay.
And so it's just breaking up numbers to give it a little bit easier multiplication. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to do this one here for us, Anthony? The 126 times 44?
Okay.
All right. Do you want to try that one?
So first we do 126 times
Yep.
40 times 40
Perfect. Then plus.
plus 126 times 4.
Awesome. And
Which,
so,
I don't have, like, I haven't done the work. I just know, like, the formula. I haven't
that's
done
okay. That works perfectly. Here, we can walk through it, right? 126 times 40. 0 times all that is 0. So we drop our 0 down. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. So we should have 126 times 40 should be 2040. And then I think, right, if we're dropping the 0, that's what this one would just be 204, right? Or no, that's not right. Whoops, 4 times 1 is 5, 504. My bad. So this should be 5. Like this, I believe. And there we go. So then when you add these together, Anthony, what do you get?
I think 5,544.
Yep, that's what I got. Is that what everybody else got? All right, perfect. My math was right. I got a little bit confused there for a second. So awesome. Thank you, Anthony. And does that make sense for you?
Yeah, now it does.
Okay, great. And then the other thing we did, Anthony, was just when we're adding and subtracting large numbers, we have to make sure that all of our places like ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions, and 10 millions are all lined up correctly, or we'll get the wrong answer. Okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Thank you for asking, though. I like that. All right, so let's see. Melinda, would you like to do the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Right here.
So you do 139 times 10 plus 139 times 7.
Perfect. And so we know this is 1390. And what is 139 times 7?
I think that is 973.
973. Perfect. So we'd have 1390 plus 973, correct?
Mhm.
And what do we get for a final answer on this one?
363.
What was that?
2,363.
Perfect. And is that what everybody else got? Awesome. Thank you, Melinda. Great job. Okay. So now we're doing this next one.
Can I do the next one?
Hannah, you want the next one? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So what I did is I just did 616 divided by 28,
Okay.
and I got 22.
And you got 22. So it went in evenly. Perfect. Oops, sorry here. So we just did this one. Let's see, 616 and divided it by 28. And you got 22, correct?
Yeah.
Just like that. Awesome. And so if we were doing this, if we had to do the distributive property for this one, Hannah, how do you think we would do it?
Would you do 600 divided by 20 first?
So we could do that. We could do 616 and then divided by 20 and then plus 616 divided by 8. That would be okay. This one would be a little bit harder because 616 isn't quite divisible by 20 evenly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
some of these are a little harder. But what you did is perfectly fine, just doing the normal way of division. Okay. Let's see. Charlie, I think you're the next one to go because I haven't called on you yet. 245 divided by 35.
Okay. Hang on. All right. So I don't know if this is correct or not. But I got 7 with remainder 5.
So you got 7 with a remainder of 5. So we can check it. Let's see. What is 7 times 35? We would have a 5, right? And then we would add a 3 up here. 7 times 3 is 21 and 24. Right? Am I correct? So it doesn't look like there's a remainder for me. Did everybody else get a remainder of 5 on this one? Nope. So you're really close, Charlie. I just don't think there's a remainder, right? So let's double check it. We can easily double check it, right? So 35 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35, right? So we do 5, carry our 3, and 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 is 24. So 7 times 35 is 245. So we can actually get rid of our remainder. Oops. Oh no, don't do that. Not again, not again. Oops, oops, oops. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that again. All right, so 1 second here. Let me just exit out of this. Open this back up. All right. All right, now we're back. Okay, now it's working again. Okay, so let's see, 245 divided by 35, correct? Let's see here. So we can always double check by multiplying and seeing what numbers we get, right? And so when we did this one is divisible. So this one is 7, because 7 times 35 is 245. Does that make sense for everybody? And is that what everybody else got, was 7? Awesome. Any questions from anybody? Okay. Let's see. Bonnie, do you want to do the next one?
Yes.
Okay, so we got 3,304 divided by 14.
Can I just say the answer?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
245.
Okay. No remainders?
Yes.
There's a remainder. What's your remainder here?
No remainders.
No remainders. So 245. Is that what everybody else got? Perfect. So 245. And we can always double check by doing 245 times 14 if we want to, right? So we need 245 times 10 plus 245 times 4, because I know this is 2,450. We know this is 0, add the 2, 8, add the 1, and 9. So we would get 3,000. Oops, did I do this wrong? No.
I got a different answer.
Yes, I think we would have a remainder here, right?
I didn't get a remainder. I have
You didn't get one?
236.
I got
200
236 too.
236?
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 2 answers though. I'm not sure which one's which.
You got 2 answers? Okay, that's no worries. So this one, when we look, right? So I checked it and I noticed that we have ended with 2 zeros, so it couldn't be 3304. It's okay. It's all right. So we'll get rid of this one and we'll try again. So we got, what was it? 236?
Yeah.
Was that your other
Yes.
answer, Bonnie?
Yeah.
So 236 with no remainders, right? All right. So now we can always come in here and check it, right? 236 times 10 plus 236 times 4, right? So we get 2,360 plus, now we will end with a 4 at the 2, 4, 8, and 9. And that will give us 3,304. Perfect. Good job, Bonnie. Thank you. And thank you, everybody else, for correcting me. Sometimes we can get them wrong, and it's okay. That's why we double check our work, and that's why we have our friends here to make sure we're doing it right. All right, let's see. Hannah, would you like to do, or wait, let's see. Hannah, you already did one. Alina, I don't think you did one of these yet, right? Would you like to do the next one? Right here.
That one?
Yes. So we'll do
Okay.
9,163 divided by 83.
Can I just tell the answer?
Yes, go ahead.
I got 110 with a remainder of 33.
110 with a remainder of 33. Does that look right for everybody else? All right, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So that looks right to me. 83 goes into that once, and then we'd have, let's see, about 86, 1, 0. Yep, I think that's correct. Good job, thank you. Did you want to do the next one, Hannah? Okay, how do we do the next one?
So what I just did, Since you don't know the first number, I did 522 times 3.
Okay.
And then I got 1,566.
1,566.
And since there's a remainder, you have to do 1,566 plus the remainder, which is 1.
Plus our remainder. Perfect.
And then you get 1,567.
Perfect. Does that look right for everybody else too? That looks really good to me. All right. Does that make sense for everybody? Everybody see how we got that one? Does anybody have any questions at all to this point? Okay, perfect. Let's see. Yi-sung, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So we got
Can I
a
just-
number divided by 94 equals 13. So what did you get for this one?
I got 1,222.
1,222. Okay. And does that look good for everybody? Is that what everybody else got? Perfect. Looks good to me too. All right. And let's see, we got 2 more. Let me make sure everybody's going. Charlie, did you want to do the next one?
Like the
This one right here. Some number divided by 46 equals 84.
Okay, so you can also to do this you can just do 84 times 46.
Perfect. And what did you get? Did you want to do the distributive property or just leave it?
I got 3,864.
So you got 3,864. Is that what everybody else got? Does that look good? Looks good to me. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Cole, I'm coming back to you for the last one here. All right. Some number divided by 7 is 1,091 with a remainder of 6. I think you're muted, Cole. Maybe on the computer.
Here, can you hear me now?
Yep, now I can.
All right. So for this one, I think you would do 7 times 1,000 and wait, am I saying this right? 1,091. Is that how you
Yep.
say it?
Yep.
And then you would add 6.
Perfect. And so then we would, oops, here, let me see. Oops, don't do that. No. Oops, okay. And then we would add 6 here. Hang on. Okay. All right. 7 times 1,091
Is do you want me to answer that?
Yes, why don't you answer this part here
it's
first?
I believe it is 7,637, and that's without adding the 6,
Perfect. And then we'll add our remainder of 6.
and get 7,643.
Perfect. And this is our final answer here. Is that what everybody else got? Does that look good? Awesome. Thank you, Paul. Great job. Okay. And so does that make sense for everybody how we do these? Does anybody have any questions on multiplying, dividing, adding, subtracting, order of operations, anything we've done to this point? All right. You're all too smart. Too smart. All right. Our first word problem. Melinda, would you like to do this one?
Yeah.
All right. Would you read it out for everybody too?
All books except the reference books are available for loans. How many books are available for loans?
Perfect. So when we're looking up top, which one of these numbers are not available for loans?
2042.
Perfect. So here's our reference books. So 2042 reference books are not available for loan. So what would we do here, Melinda?
So you would do 8,943 plus 13,000 and 13,017.
Perfect. And what would we get?
You would get 21,950.
Perfect. And does that look good for everybody else? That looks good to me. Awesome. Thank you, Melinda.
I got 21,960.
Yeah.
60. So we got 3, 4, 5. Yep, so 60. I missed the 1. That's all right. Is that what you had, Melinda? Yeah, okay. I just heard her wrong. That was my fault. That looks good. Here, let me write this. So we got 21,960 books available for loan. All right, so we have to, okay. Why is it doing that? No. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Next question. Alina, you want to do this one?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says each patron pays an annual fee of $36 to the library. If the library collects $40,320 from the annual fee, how many patrons are there?
And so how do you want to do this problem?
So I want to do 40,320 divided by $36.
Perfect. Divided by 36. And what do we get for an answer?
1,120.
1,120. No remainders?
No remainders.
No remainders. So we have 1,120 patrons have an annual fee at the library. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody else? Awesome. Does everybody see why we divided that one? Awesome. Does anybody have any questions so far? Great job. Okay. Thank you, Alina. Let's see. So now we have to remember our 1,120 patrons, right? Let's see. Melinda and Alina both went. So does anybody else want to do the next word problem? All right, Kevin, good job. So we got, let's see, we have to remember 1120.
Okay, so it says each patron can borrow the books for 2 weeks and renew the loan twice. What is the maximum number of days can a patron keep the books to borrow from the library?
I think you're one ahead of us. We're on number 3.
Oh, number 3?
Yep.
Oh, so each patron can borrow up to 6 books. If all the patrons are currently holding on to 6 books each, how many books are left in the library? So, on the problem above, we already found out there are 1,120 patrons. So all we have to do is do 1,120 times 6.
Okay, times 6.
And then I got 6,720.
Okay, so we have 6,720 books, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's how many books are out. So now we have to go back again and see how many books we can take out, right? So we can take out 21,906, correct?
Yeah.
And so if we can take out 21,960 books,
Yeah.
but there's 6,000 books out there, what would we do here?
So you just you subtract 6,720 from 21,960. Yeah.
Perfect.
So that would equal 1,005. No, wait.
Yep.
15,240.
Perfect. 15,240 books left in the library, right? And then plus the reference books. But we're not going to count the reference books because we can't take them out. So they're just out of the picture altogether. Does this make sense for everybody? Is that what everybody else got? Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Any questions about this problem? All right. Thank you, Kevin. That was a great job. All right. Anybody want to do the last one that hasn't gotten to go? Any takers? Oh, all right, Charlie, why don't you do this one here?
Okay. So, each patron can borrow the books for 2 weeks and renew the loan twice. What is the maximum number of days a patron can a patron keep the books they borrowed from the library? So what I did was, since each week is 7 days, I did 2 times 7. Then so I did 2 times 7 times 2.
Times 2?
Yeah.
Um.
And I put the 2 times 7 in brackets.
In brackets here, like this?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you had 14, and then times 2, and got 28. 28 days? Is that what you ended up getting? Okay.
Yep.
So what I did for this one, so this is kind of a tricky one. So what I did for this one is I left it at 2 weeks. And I said, if they can borrow it for 2 weeks and then renew the 2 weeks twice. So they can rent it for 2 weeks and then renew it and then renew it, right? So we can do 2 weeks plus 2 weeks plus 2 weeks. So I got 6 weeks for this one, which if we break it down would be 14 plus 14 plus 14. And so I got 42 days. Just because since they can renew the loan twice, their initial one, they got it. And so that's 2 weeks, right? So 14 days. So if they can do it once, they get it for 14 days. Then they can go back and renew it again for 14 days. And then one more time. So they have their initial, and then they renew it twice. Does that make sense for everybody? Can you raise your hand if you did it, if you got 28 the first time? All right. Can you do a thumbs up if you got 42 the first time? Okay, so we're a little bit mixed here. And which is okay, because word problems can be a little bit confusing. So, you can read this in a couple different ways. But how I did it is, like I said, you can borrow it for 2 weeks, an initial 2 weeks, and renew the loan twice. So here's the first renewal, and here's the second renewal. Does anybody have any questions on that one? Nope. Okay. Thank you, Charlie, though. it's perfectly fine to do that, to do it that way, you know, because this one is confusing. This is supposed to be a little bit harder one. So don't get discouraged or anything. It happens to everybody. So does anybody have any questions to this point? Okay. How does everybody feel about the distributive property? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up? Awesome. Perfect. Can you raise your hand if you learned anything today or feel like you learned a little bit of something? Awesome. Okay, I see some hands up. Perfect. Let's see. Why don't we, oops. Oh, we got one more here. Sorry. One more question. And then we can, oh, come on. All right. Okay, so does anybody want to do the last problem? Yi-song, why don't you do this one?
So what I did is 42 divided by 9 times 2.
Can you read the question for us first? Sorry.
Okay. Write an equation using x and then solve the equation. The late fee per book per day is $2. A patron paid 42 for X books that were overdue for 9 days. How many books were overdue?
I think your number is off. This should be 72, not 42.
72. Yeah, sorry.
72. Okay. So the late fee per book per day is $2. A patron paid $72 for X books that were overdue for 9 days. How many books were overdue?
So what I did is 72 divided by 9 times 2, but...
So 9 times 2 like this?
Yeah.
So where's your X? Right, because we need an equation using X.
I think I left it out maybe.
You left that one out? No worries. Let's figure this one out. So he paid $72 for X books. So we know at the end he pays $72, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If they're 9 days overdue, we know that's a $2 per day. And so we need to know how many books. So we'll put a big X here for the number of books. Does that make sense? And so now we have our X. And so we can do X, which is our number of books, is equal to, like you said, 72 divided by 9 times 2. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what do we get here?
4.
So X equals 4 books. And is that what everybody else got? Does that look good? Awesome, perfect. Does that make sense for everybody? Does anybody have any questions about this one? All right, thank you, Yi-song. That was great. Okay, so that's all I have for everybody today. So we'll let everybody go a little bit early. I just wanted to remind everybody that I won't be here Friday, so you will have Miss Urvashi, and she's a great teacher. I'm sure she'll teach it a little bit different than I do, but just answer the same questions like you always do. Everyone in here is really smart, so I'm not too worried. You guys will all be great, I'm sure. So just so you know, though, she will be here instead of me on Friday. And then next week, I'll be back. Does that sound good for everybody? Okay.
Yes.
I think next week will be, week 4. And so we'll go over our M steps, and then we'll go over any homework problems that you guys have. So make sure you bring questions next week. I will have, the homework should be up after class is over. And I think also the next M step should be up when class is over also. So if you can all make sure you get your M steps in before next week, I'll make sure I have the key up so you guys can check it and bring any questions. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Okay. everybody good on today's material? Any questions at all about anything? All right, perfect. Well, I will let everybody go. That's all I have. So I will see everybody next week, but you will all be here Friday, hopefully.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Bye.
Bye.